What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM, guys. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and welcome back to the show predicated on the journey of life and business. Well, guys, I hope you're doing good. I hope life is treating you well. I'm doing better than I deserve. Today, guys, I actually want to talk about how would I do business? And really, I actually want to replace how would I do business with how would I do ... How would I do that? How would I do it? What is my way of doing things? And this is really important. It really came from a conversation between Andrew and I. We were talking just about value, and we were talking about, really opinions and ideas, and how my way of doing things is valuable because it's a part of me and I'm valuable. It's the same thing that goes for you. And so most of us, we want to find the right answer. And most of us have struggled with this, or we want to be told the way to do things versus why don't you create the way you want to do it? Why don't you actually build what you want out of life, right? So growing up, I used to woodwork a lot with my dad, and we would work a lot in his shop. We did a lot of woodworking projects, construction projects, a lot of different stuff. And, it was really interesting because it always started with the planning step. And yes, there are formulas and frameworks that need to be used, right, to make things strong and secure. But we would really talk about, well, what do we want to build? And he would talk about that. And I really loved Legos growing up. I play Legos oftentimes with my nephews. We play a lot. And the best thing about Legos is, what do I want to build? What do I want it to look like? What do I want it to do? And that's really how life is what do you want it to look like? Right? Now, there are principles that everything should be built off, and universal principles, right? Like not being evil is a great principle to have, and then defining what that means, right? And so, it's so important to know that there's universal principles, but then what do you want it to look like? How do you want your house to look? How do you want your relationships to look? What type of person do you want to be? And it's the same thing in business. How do we want it to look? I've used this as an example before, but you go to Walmart self-checkout versus you go to Home Depot self-checkout. They look radically different. Why? Home Depot wanted it to look different than Walmart, and Walmart wanted it to look different than Home Depot. Why? Their hearts were to serve their customers. And so they built things that looked radically different, all predicated on their unique type of customer. And that's what they wanted it to look like. And I think it's so important to really see this. Like, how do I want to do business? How would I do business? How would I build it? What do I want to build? And why would I build it? And yes, it's so important to know, cool, there's flooded markets. There's, blue ocean versus red ocean. There's all these different things that come into play, industries, technologies, and all this stuff. But none of that really matters if your heart and vision is really predicated on serving. And then you get to decide what you want to do and how you want to do it. Andrew and I often talk about how we're technology agnostic, right? We're technology agnostic, and we're also industry agnostic because people are transferable. And it's so important to really see that. And then from there, it's like, wow, how do we want to do things? How do we really want to build things? And that's really where our hearts are at. And I think this goes into every area of life. And oftentimes we lose the passion and we lose the responsibility and the ownership on our side to really build things how we would like them to look. And they get replaced with us trying to find the right answer and do the right thing, and or keep up with society and not be an outcast and keep up with the Joneses. And they've got a new car, so we got to buy a new car. They live in this neighborhood, so we need to live in this neighborhood. And it's like, why? Do you want to live in that neighborhood? Is that the lifestyle you actually want to have? Or are you doing it to look good? And those are two radically different things. Those are two radically different heart positions, two radically different outlooks on life. If I'm just choosing to live in a big country club because that's what everybody does, because those are the people who have money, that's what all the people with money do. And it's like, man, like, forget that. And I'm not talking about just being unique and going against cultural norms. I've kind of been that way my whole life. I just don't do cultural norms in a large part in a lot of ways. But it's really predicated on, okay, what do I want to do? My heart's really to serve people. I want to serve people. When Andrew and I started business, we started to just simply have a better life. And we started because we wanted to do something that helped people and served people and just changed our world. Not the whole entirety of the world, but just at least our community and how we did things. And so it's really that question. How do you want to do life? How would you do it? How would you build it? And the same thing in business. How would I do business? Anyways, guys, I'm over. So I'll catch you later. Peace.